Students, now we'll discuss about the concept of Gauss law and applications of Gauss law. So first, let's look at the statement of Gauss law and then proof of Gauss theorem or we can Gauss law, and then we move on to next some other topics of Gauss law. So now, what Gauss law says? Okay, according to Gauss law, the total electric flux through any closed surface through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of net charge enclosed by the surface. So this is what the Gauss law statement says. According to Gauss law, what it says now, the total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to what now? 1 by epsilon naught times of the what now? The net charge enclosed by the surface. Here, what is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is permittivity of space. Permittivity of free space, its value is given by what now? 8.854 into 10 power 12, and what will be the unit? From where we have taken? From Coulomb's law. The unit will be what now? Using what equation? Using this equation, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 by r square. Using this we need to find. So it will become what now? Coulomb square. So here it is Q1 Q2, right? It is Coulomb square. So I wrote Coulomb square into. So it is meter square, that is per meter square, into per Newton. That is what now? Unit of permittivity. So this Gauss law says what now? The total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to what now? 1 by epsilon naught times of what now? The net charge enclosed by the surface. It is for air or vacuum medium. Okay, this is mathematically written as phi, that is total flux, that is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of q net charge. While taking the q net charge, you should take a charge what is there inside the surface, not outside the surface. But when you are calculating an electric flux due to electric field, then you need to consider charge even outside the surface. Okay. Now this is what Gauss law says now. So let us prove this Gauss law with a simple example. Like considering a simple charge of charge value is q, we prove it now. Okay. Yes, now consider a charge. Charge value is how much? Q. Okay, in order to understand this one, we have to consider some area. So this is what we call Gaussian surface. So here afterwards, in order to find electric flux using Gauss law, we need to consider an area, construct an area, a simple area. So that is symmetrical area, that is what we call Gaussian surface. The reason what we are going to construct. Okay, now find out this. Now let me place it is exactly at the middle, somewhere here. Now we need to find the electric flux through this one. Now consider a small area, this much area. Now look at here. Electric field is what direction now? In this direction. Because since it is a positive charge, electric field is radially outward direction. So this is the area we consider. Now what is the direction of area? Same direction, that is n cap. So both are in same direction. Angle between these two become how much now? Angle is 0 degree between what and what now? Electric field direction and area vector. Now using this we need to find out now. The total electric flux we need to find out. That is what we need to see now. The total electric flux, that is equal to what now? So area we take a small area. So let me take small delta phi. That is equal to electric field How much is there? That is E multiplied by what now? Delta S. Actually it is E delta S cos theta, but here now cos theta, theta is 0, so cos 0 degree is become 1, it will become E ds. Okay, due to because of what now? Due to because of small elementary area, what we consider this area is what will come now? Delta S. Now, like this, how many areas are there? This many areas are there. Let me take its radius is how much? R. Now, if you consider like this, now total electric flux passing through this, we need to find out that is total electric flux, that is equal to integration, or some people use summation. So both you can use integration or you can use summation, left to your conveniently. Summation over all delta S, that is equal to E delta S. Sum of all delta S, like this here, there is one more region here, there is one more region here, all those if you consider. So now electric field formula we know. At this point P, due to what now charge that we already derived, that is E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by distance square. We need to insert this value here. And here electric field is constant because see electric field is proportional to 1 by r square. Since r is constant, right? Look at the area. Radius is constant, then electric field is constant. We take it outside, so it will become what now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into charge, how much we can Q divided by distance r square into summation all delta S, that is delta S. So the sum of all delta S, nothing but now total surface area of the circle what we have taken. That is how much it is. The total surface area, that is sum of all delta, that is equal to 4 pi r square. That is sum of all delta S. So if you insert this value, it will become what now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by r square into this is become 4 pi r square. Now look at what is going to cancel. Here 4 pi and 4 pi is going to cancel. Here r and r is going to cancel. Then total flux is given by 1 by epsilon naught times of Q. Where is Q? Inside. So this is what Gauss law says. That is the proof of Gauss law. And again, this Gauss law is in according to what now? Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is according to what now? Inverse square law. What is inverse square law? Anything proportional to 1 by r square. This is what we call inverse square law. So any violation in inverse square law will lead us to violation in Gauss law directly. Okay, this is Gauss law and proof of what now? Gauss law. So now there are three applications are there. Applications of what now? Gauss theorem. So or Gauss law. Let us look at now one by one application. The first application is electric field due to linear charge distribution. Means if you take an infinitely long conducting wire, what will be the electric field due to that conducting wire? We need to see now. Okay. Now we look at the first application of Gauss law, that is finding of electric field due to infinitely long conducting wire. Now consider an infinitely long conducting wire. This is infinitely long what now? Conducting wire. This is extended up to where? No, infinity at top and bottom. And for time being, I have given what type of charge now? Positive charge density. Now what is the direction of electric field? It is outward direction. Now here, in order to do this one, we need to consider what now? We need to consider Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface I am going to consider like this now. A cylindrical Gaussian surface I am going to take now. There is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. Half radius is how much? Half radius is r. Now in order to find the electric flux in all over the area, so we need to see now. There are three reasons are there. First reason is here. Now what is the direction of electric field? In this direction. Since because positive. What is the direction of area vector now? Look at it. This area of the upper cylinder is like this. Area vector must be what now? Area vector must be upward like this. Or if I use this one, it will be upward like this. Then area vector will be what direction now? Area vector will be what direction? Is direction, that is n cap. Now angle, how much will make now? Will make an angle of 90 degree, means this upper surface will not contribute anything. Now look at the lower surface now. Direction of electric field, again this direction. But look at now, area vector now, downward direction, that is n cap. Now angle is how much now? 90 degree. Same thing now, again it will not contribute anything, right? Because area is downward. Now third surface, look at this one, curved surface. Anywhere you can take on curved surface, it will be same thing. Electric field also like this direction, and area vector also same direction. So since angle is theta, that is equal to 0, so now this is going to contribute now. What this is contributing? So which one is contributing now? Only circular part need to contributing. Now first we find the electric flux, and then we move on to what now? Electric field. Now electric flux. The total electric flux is given by what now? Electric flux due to first surface. So let me call this first, and this one is second, and this curved portion is what we call 3. Phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Now in this phi 1 and phi 2 will give it a what now? 0, because they are perpendicular. Because as we know, electric flux is given by E A cos theta. So since it is E A cos theta, it will become E A cos 90 degree. So cos 90 degree is 0, it will become 0. So now only this one is contributing. So that we need to mention now. It will become what now? It will become now total electric flux is E into this area. What now? Cylinder area. How much it is length now? This length is L. This radius is R. Then it will become what now? Area 2 pi R L. Yes or no? That is E into area, right? So E is this much. Area of the cylindrical part, that is 2 pi R L. That is flux. So can we call this one equation number 1? Simple. 2 pi R circumference and length is L, 2 pi R. So this is equation number 1. What is we got now? Electric flux. Now according to Gauss theorem, let us see now. According to Gauss law, what we see now? According to Gauss law, total electric flux through any surface is equal to what now? Total charge enclosed by the body Q by permittivity of free space, that is epsilon naught, and we are doing air medium. Now here we cannot identify what exactly the charge. So this is a continuous conductor and it is linear charge distribution. So Q I am going to replace by what now? Using what equation? Linear charge density lambda equal to charge per unit length, then Q equal to lambda into L. So I will write now this is lambda into L divided by epsilon naught. This is what now? This is equation number 2. Now from equation number 1 and 2, from where and where? From equation 1 and 2. Now look at them. Left hand side is same. Since left hand side is same, the right hand side must be equal, right? Then we can write now that is electric field multiplied by 2 pi R L must be equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. What is going to cancel here now? L and L is going to cancel. Remaining L right now, that is electric field. I want actually electric field equal to this 2 pi R. I'll take this side. It will become lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught into R. So this is the value of what now? Value of electric field due to what now? Infinitely long current. This continuous means infinitely long charged wire. That is what type of wire? Charged wire. Now since I have taken a positive charge, electric field is what direction? Outward, radially outward. If I take negative sign, electric field will be radially inward. As we know, electric field is from positive and negative. So this is the first application of Gauss law. So using Gauss law, we found finally electric field equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught. From here we can make observation whether This one is depending upon the length anyway? No. Electric field doesn't depend on length. Depends on what now? Here what now? Radius r. One we need to observe now. In this case, electric field is proportional to 1 by r. Where when you take a continuous charge distribution, that is linear charge distribution. But when you take a single charge, do you remember? For a single charge, so what we got for single charge? Electric field is proportional to 1 by r square. Okay, difference is there. We need to make a note of these two. Okay, here is 1 by r, here is 1 by r square. Means here it will fall rapidly as compared to this one. So this is what now electric field due to infinitely long conducting wire. Now we go for second application of Gauss theorem. What second application says now? The second application is electric field due to plane sheet. Okay, so we move on to electric field due to what now? Plane sheet. So now we discuss electric field due to uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Now we need to consider what now plane sheet. Due to the plane sheet that is uniformly charge distributed or uniformly charged, how much electric field is there that we need to calculate. So let us consider an infinite plane sheet. So like this. This is the plane sheet what we have taken now. Okay, so this is uniformly charged. So completely plus charge. Now we need to find this electric field due to this plane sheet. Now to find this electric field due to plane sheet, we need to consider what now? We need to consider Gaussian surface. Let us consider what now? A Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface you can take of any shape that is left to the symmetry of the diagram. Okay, this is a Gaussian surface what we have taken now. Now we need to find electric field due to this plane sheet using this Gaussian surface. Yes or no? So now here again this Gaussian surface what we have taken. See, when we are applying a Gaussian surface, we need to take such a way that this Gaussian surface should not pass through any discrete charges. Means if I take a charge here, there is a one more charge. This is a Q. I want to find the electric field of these two. So now I need to consider Gaussian surface such a way that it should not pass through like this. Because the main reason is if you come very near to charge, we don't know how exactly the electric field is going to vary. Means when you come very near to the charge, what will happen? Electric field will become enormously large. So we don't know. But in the case of continuous charge distribution, we can take even. We can take even a Gaussian surface passing through where now? Passing through a continuous charge distribution, but not for what now? Discrete charge distribution. Because the main reason is in the case of discrete charge distribution, we don't know exactly when we come very near to the charge electric field due to a charge, how fast it is going to increase. Okay, so with that, so now we need to find electric field due to what now? This plane sheet. Now this entire length of the Gaussian cylinder, what we have to consider is 2L. Means from here to here, the length is L. Means if you take this is the center O, and this remaining is how much? L. Now again similarly what we do, we can divide into three places, that is first area, second area, and this curved part is complete curved part is third area. Now look at this first area here, second, and this is completely curved part is third. Now electric field to first, second, third I need to find out. Now look at electric field to first one. This plane sheet is like this exactly. This is perpendicular to the board. Now if I take what is the direction of area vector? This is first case like this. Electric field also same direction. Now look at here, what will happen? Electric field is in this direction, and area vector that is also in same direction. If I consider this side, electric field is in this direction, because if you consider a plane, here also positive charge is there, this side also positive charge is there. So due to this all positive, it will be that side. All this positive, it will be this direction, electric field. So here, air electron also air gap same direction, means this is angle theta equal to 0 here, that is 0 degree. Here also angle theta, that is equal to 0 degree. But look at the curved portion, anywhere you can take now. If I take here, electric field is in this direction and area vector is in this direction. So angle will become 90 degree. So that will not contribute, means this curved portion will not contribute anything for electric flux now. Only this surface and this surface will contribute. Okay. Now with this we need to find electric flux first, and then using Gauss law we need to go for electric field. So now electric flux. Electric flux is given by what now? Total electric flux, that is equal to electric flux into first region, electric field into second region, plus electric field into third region. So in the third region will not contribute. I told you already, here's the reason. Now we need to look at these two. And here one more thing you need to consider. Sir, is here electric flux in this direction? Here electric flux is in this direction. So both are in opposite direction. Can we cancel it? Can we cancel and make it a 0? No, we cannot cancel it, because as we know electric flux is given by, it is the dot product of what and what? Dot product of electric field and area vector, means it is a scalar product. This quantity is what type of quantity? Scalar quantity. So for scalar quantities, so direction doesn't matter, so we need to just add up. So now total electric flux phi 3 is equal to 0 now, then total electric flux equal to what now? For this region and that region, it will become, let me consider area of this will how much now? A. And since same thing symmetrical, area of there also A, then it will become E A plus E into A, that is become 2 times of E into A. Let me call equation number 1. Similarly, now we need to use what now? Gauss theorem. So what Gauss theorem says now? According to Gauss law, so total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to total charge Q by epsilon naught. Now we are taking what type of charge density? Surface charge density or area charge density. We called it, I have discussed already in the previous class, that is surface charge density. Or we call area charge density. It is given by what now? Sigma equal to charge per unit area. So from this, then we want to Q, then Q equal to sigma into A. Surface charge density or area charge density that we have taken. So it will become what now? Q as sigma into A. So it is sigma into A divided by what now? Divided by epsilon naught. Okay, so let me call equation number what now? Equation number 2. Now simple case again what now? From equation 1 and 2. Left hand side same, so I can write now right hand side is 2 times of electric field multiplied by area, that is equal to sigma into area divided by epsilon naught. What is going to cancel here? Area and area is going to cancel. You get 2 times of electric field, that is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So simple case I can write electric field, that is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, that is twice. That is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So this is the value of what now? This is the value of electric field. Sir, it is electric field is now what type of quantity? Scalar or vector quantity? Electric field definitely a vector quantity, it will possess direction. Then what is the direction of electric field, sir? If you take it here, electric field means direction. That is, you can write in vectorially electric field E equal to sigma by 2 times of epsilon naught into n cap. So this is in vector notation. So this is the second application. What now? electric field due to infinitely long plane sheet. Simple case it is. So using this we are going to discuss in the case of capacitor. Capacitor containing what now? Two sheets. Two plates, right? Two plates we consider single plates. Then we apply electric field there. So we will discuss now. We will discussing about what now? Capacitor. So now let us move on to what now? The third application of what now? Gauss theorem. Okay. So now we discuss about what now? Electric field due to uniformly charged thin spherical shell. We consider a spherical shell. We need to find out how much is the electric field due to spherical shell. In that again three cases will come: outside a spherical shell, on the spherical shell, and inside the spherical shell. Okay. So now consider a spherical shell. So this is uniformly charged now. So uniformly positively charged we are taken for conveniently. So this is the center of the charge, means center of this. Okay, the total charge how much now? Q. So this is the center. Now first case we discuss. First case, case number 1, outside the spherical shell. Outside spherical shell. So let us consider this spherical shell will having a radius in how much? Capital R. Now let me take some point here P. Now I want to find the electric field where at point P, that is outside the spherical shell. So if you want to find out at point P, what I need to do? I need to find out what now? Means I need to consider what now? Gaussian surface shape at that point. So at that point we need to consider what now? Gaussian surface. Now let us write a Gaussian surface now. This is a Gaussian surface. Okay, this is having a radius that is equal to smaller. That is equal to how much now? Smaller. Now let us see now what is going to happen. Now consider a small area. Again, we need to find the flux. See, in this case, previously we have taken case number 1, case number 2 means surface area 1, 2, 3. Now here not like that. Wherever you can take here entire surface, angle become how much? 0, means electric field in this direction and area vector also in the same direction. Then angle theta become how much? 0 degree wherever you take completely. So then total electric flux phi, that is equal to what now? Electric field multiplied by area of this complete thing, or the area of this complete thing now. Complete area is 4 pi r square. Okay, capital R square, no, not capital R square, it is small r square. That is electric flux, we got it now. Okay, let me call equation number 1 now, equation number 1. Now, according to Gauss theorem, according to Gauss law, what is saying? Total electric flux equal to total charge, that is Q, divided by epsilon naught. So now it is what now? Surface charge density. So we consider again surface charge density Q equal to what now? Charge per unit area. That is here sigma equal to charge per area. Area for now? This spherical shell area, not the Gaussian surface. This is what now? This is what we call Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. This is spherical shell. What is spherical shell area? 4 pi capital R square. Okay. Now either you can use that one or else you can keep like this as it is, no issues. So now here this is, let me take equation number 2. Now I am not using this one now. I am just keeping as it is. Now from equation number 1 and 2, what will happen? From equation 1 and 2. So you need to explain the diagram. Here I am not writing anywhere. The explanation of the diagram. What explanation? Consider spherical shell of radius r having a charge distribution that is equal to how much now? Q. Let P is a point where we need to find electric field due to the spherical shell. Okay, so consider small area, what we call delta S or delta A. Okay, making an angle theta equal to 0 degree with respect to electric field, that you should know, that you should write by looking at the diagram. Okay, so now from equation number 1 and 2, what we can write now? It is electric field E equal to, okay, so from here E into 4 pi small r square, that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now from this what we get now? Electric field E is equal to this 4 pi r square will go to this side, it will become Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. Now look at this equation, it's very important. This will look like what now? From where we get this equation? Imagine electric field will be a point charge. Same equation means the entire charge distributed over here, it is act like supposed to be concentrated at the center. So that's what we are getting this equation. Now case 1 is done where it is outside spherical shell. Now we consider on spherical shell, where now here it will be called point as P prime. Now on spherical shell means what will happen second case? On spherical shell. See now on spherical shell means here capital R must be equal to small r, right? Both are equal. Okay, now I am going to use the place of Q as this formula. Now if I use this formula, let me see what will happen now. The case is, now here electric field, that is E, that is equal to what we are getting now? See Q. Q means what now? Sigma 4 pi r square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into small r square. What are you going to cancel? 4 pi, 4 pi. It will become what now? Electric field, that is equal to sigma r square divided by what now? Epsilon naught small r square. But look at what we have taken. Capital R equal to small r. So these two cancel. You get what now? Electric field as just sigma by epsilon naught, that is electric field. Where now? On the surface. Now third case. Let me take somewhere here. P double prime. Inside the spherical shell. Third one is what now? Third one is inside. So now, if you consider inside the spherical shell, now check it properly. Inside the spherical shell, is there any charge now? Charge is not there. Can we write the charge value Q equal to 0? So according to Gauss law, what it says now, Gauss law? Only we need to consider what is charge only inside. Now inside there is no charge, then electric flux through is equal to how much? 0. If you put this equation, Q equal to 0, then electric field inside is also how much now? 0. So these are the three cases where on the surface, outside the surface and inside the surface. These are the three applications of Gauss law. Okay, thank you children. Thank you so much.